welcome to this channel. So here today we will see how we can handle iframes in our automation script. Okay, so basically for this one we have to go to our application. Here for the iframe we have to go to the frames, and here these are two tabs. Okay, we can use this application, but for the better understanding I will be using some other application, and then we will move back to this here. Okay, so let us move to this application. Okay, I will paste this URL in the description so that it will be easy for you to use this one. So what we will do here, so basically we will enter some value to this text box. Okay, so basically this is a text box, this is another text box, this is another text box. Okay, and we want to enter some value to one of the text box. So for that one first we have to identify this locator. So to identify this one I will first construct the XPath, input name attribute equal to this. So this is my XPath. Okay, so I will come here and I will first construct my locator. I will say let input box equal to page dot locator, something like this. This is our locator. Okay, and then we have to input some value to this input box. So for that one I will say await input box dot fill. We know the fill method is used to input something to this input box. I can say the string as automation. Okay, so basically what it will do, it will first identify the locator, and in that locator it will fill some value. Before that it has to go to some of the URL. Is go to URL, and our URL is this one. Okay. Let me run this one and we'll see what error we are getting or what is happening. So it came to this application. Now it has to enter some value to this text box. Okay, we will see. Okay, still okay. Now you can see here some timeout exception we are getting. Okay, let us read that. So you can see here it is saying waiting for locator input name equal to my text one. But if we come to the application, you can see here there is one locator found matching with this XPath. Okay, and it is saying it waited for 30 seconds and it did not find this element. Basically that it means so basically by default the timeout is in Playwright is 30 seconds. Okay, so it will wait for an element to find, it will search for an element for 30 seconds maximum. If the element is not present, then it will give you an exception. Okay, but here like we will discuss more the timeout in more details. There are different timeout in Playwright, but here you can see it in 30 seconds it's saying unable to find this element, whereas we saw manually the element is present in the application. So what it means basically, if you will see here, so basically there is a concept here in this HTML. There are different frames present. Okay, so what is a frame? Let me search. So basically HTML inside HTML. Okay, iframe. What is iframe? Okay, so basically an inline frame, okay, is a HTML element that loads another HTML page within the document. Okay, so if I will expand this image, let us see. Oh, this is the URL. Okay, so basically this is like, suppose if you will see this HTML. So basically if you have gone through our XPath tutorial. Here, there you can see XPath video, and there we have discussed. So basically, this is the parent node, the root element, basically the root node HTML. Okay, and then these are the different nodes, head and frame set. Okay, and if we'll come here in the frame, you can see here this is the HTML, and inside this one another HTML it is present. Okay, so basically in a HTML page there is another HTML page. Okay, so basically that is the concept of frames. Okay, so since we are going to enter some value in this text box which is present inside a frame basically. So how you will recognize if it is a frame? So basically the tag name should be a frame or iframe. Okay, so you can see here the tag name is frame. So basically if the element whatever you are trying to handle, if that is present in a frame, you cannot directly handle it like whatever we used to do, like in our earlier courses, whatever we have seen here. Okay, but if the element is present in a frame, so there is a different approach which we will follow to handle those type of elements. Okay, so to handle the frames in Playwright, so there are different methods is available. Okay, so there are two methods basically available. One is we call frame locator, and another we call frame content frame. Okay, so basically what this method does, basically it basically gives you one frame. Okay, then once you get the frame inside that, once you get, suppose I'll show you, once I get this frame, so this is the frame basically, this is the frame, this is another frame. Once I get into this frame, then I will be able to access whatever the elements that are present inside that frame. Okay, so first I have to identify that frame first. Okay, the step is first need to identify the frame under which the element is present. Okay, once you identify the frame, then whatever the elements that are present inside that frame, then you can handle it. Okay, so first of all we have to identify the frame. So to identify the frame, we can use two methods. One is frame locator, another one is content frame. Using this method we can identify the frame. Once we identify the frame, then we can perform any actions on the elements that are present inside that frame. Okay, so let us see how we will use it. So basically you can see here this is not working, a simple XPath. So first we will identify the frame. So let me create one variable. I will say my frame. Okay, and I will say page dot locator. So how we will identify the frame? So basically the frame tag is frame. Okay, so you can see there are many elements present of frame. So there are basically 5 iframes are present inside this DOM. Okay, so if I want to identify uniquely, I can use this source attribute, and I will say src equal to this. So basically this is my frame. Okay, but this is the XPath, this is not the frame basically. Okay, to convert your locator to a frame, you can use content frame method. Okay, so basically what this will do, it will give you a frame. It will return you a frame whose source equal to frame1.html. Okay, so this will give you a frame. So now I want to enter some value to one of the element which is present inside this my frame. Okay, so I will use this my frame to construct my locator. Okay, let me say let my input field. Okay, so what I will do, my frame dot locator. Okay, so basically our locator is present inside this frame. So we have identified the frame. Now we will identify the input box. Okay, and the input box is this one. Okay. So this is my input field inside my frame. I will say my frame. Okay. Then once I got the locator, then I can use my method. My input field inside my frame dot fill. I will say it as automation. Okay. Let us see what is happening. I will put a debug point in the last. Okay. You can see here now it entered the value whatever we are expecting. Okay, so here the approach was first we identify the frame and this locator is present inside that frame, so we construct another locator using this frame, and once our final locator is ready, then using that locator we use the fill method to enter some value inside the text box. So here we saw how we can use this content frame method. So content frame method, what it is doing, it is kind of like it is helping you to give you one iframe using the XPath, using the whatever the selector you are using. Okay, so now we will see frame locator, how we can use the frame locator. Okay, so let us, I will just comment this out. Okay, I will comment it after some time. Okay, now we will use our frame locator. Okay, so I will say let I will first I will create a variable to identify the frame. Okay, I will say my second frame. Here what I will do, frame locator. I know the XPath of my frame, so I will pass this one. So basically in the content frame, what it is returning, it was returning your frame from the locator. This is the locator. But if you do not want to convert to a locator, you can directly use the frame locator. So basically it will give you iframe from the XPath. But from here, what we are doing, from the XPath we are getting the locator, from the locator we are getting the iframe. But here we are not getting the locator, we are directly getting the frame locator. Okay, then once I get my frame, then I will use this frame to identify my input field. Okay, so what I will do, my second input field, I will say my second frame dot locator. And what is the locator? The locator is this one. Okay, now I can use some value. Dot fill, I will see it as enter second. For the time being, I will comment this line and we will see what will happen. Okay, so you can see here entering second time. So we have seen we have two methods that are available which will give you to which will help you to identify the frames, and those are frame locator and another one is content frame. Okay, so frame locator, basically once you give the XPath it will directly give you the frame, whereas if you want to use the content frame method, first from the XPath you have to construct the locator. From the locator you will use this function to give you to get one frame. Okay, and once you get that frame and whatever the elements that are present inside that frame, okay, you can give that XPath to get a constructor, like to get a locator, and then using this you can enter some value to that locator. Okay, so these are the different lines. If I want to optimize this one, what I can do, I will just what I will do, let me construct this way. Okay, I will copy this one. I will use await command V. Okay, dot. So basically what it is giving you, it is giving you a locator which is of type locator. Okay, and then using the locator you will construct this locator. Okay, and using this one you are filling some value to this field. This is in one line what I am doing. So basically first I identify the frame. From the frame I am going inside that input element, and using that input element I am using the fill method. Okay, in a similar way what I can do here, I will use frame locator method. Okay, then we'll press dot, then I will use this locator, then dot fill. I will use second time value. Okay, so you can see first here I am using the content frame and here I am using the frame locator. So first using this I am getting my iframe, and using this iframe I am getting inside to one of my element, and then I am performing some action. In a similar way I am first constructing my frame, and using that frame I am going inside to one of the element, and then I am performing some action here on that element. Okay, so what I will do, I will comment this out, and I can debug this one. So basically, okay, let me put a debug point here so that we can what value it is entering. Okay, so now I will press a 10. If I'll come back here, you can see automation value it entered. Now it will enter second time value. Okay, let us see. It override that value. Okay, so this is the approach how you can identify and perform some any action on the element which is present inside the frames. Okay, so let us move to our application. We'll come back here and we will see how we can do here. Okay, there is one control which is present. Actually this is nested frames. Okay, one frame inside another frame. So basically if I want to give some value to here first, so basically first I have from if since I want to do some action to this element, and first I have to identify this frame, Since this is present inside this frame, then I have to identify this frame. So basically what I have to do, first I will identify this frame, then I will identify this frame, then I will identify this element. Okay, this is a simple difference. That's why I'm coming back to this application. Okay, so let us see how we can do it. So this is the URL. I'll copy all these lines just to save some time. I will say the title as frame inside frame. Okay, and our URL is this one. Okay, this is our URL. Okay, I will delete everything and I will delete this. All these things I have deleted. Okay, we will see using these two functions how we will identify. Okay, so okay, so since you can see here, this is the HTML root. Okay, and this is the frame, and inside this frame again another HTML. So basically nested HTML. Okay, is done here. Okay, which is achieved by iframes. So basically this is the first frame. Okay, and then this is the second frame. Okay, and inside this frame you can see here, this is the input field. This is the input field. Okay, so first I have to identify the parent frame. The parent frame is, I think this one. Yes, let me identify the XPath for this parent. I will say it as iframe. So basically frame or iframe. Some applications they use frame and some applications they are using iframe. Okay, source equal to, so this is my parent frame. Okay, so what I will do, I will use here. So basically this one will give you the first iframe. Okay, and then using this frame I want to go to the child frame. Okay, so let me do it something like this, dot locator. Okay, and the second frame is this one. Okay, no, this is two elements present, so I will use the ID. I will use ID. Okay, one and one of one. Okay, so I will use this. So basically I am getting the parent frame. Using this I am going inside the frame which is present inside this frame, inside this parent frame. Okay, and this is not a simple locator. We know this is a another frame, so to get another frame I have to use content frame again. Okay, and then I have to construct the locator on which I want to enter some value, and the input field is input. Okay, I will use dot fill. I will use say a nested frame. Okay, so this is how we have done. This is the parent frame, and from the using the parent frame we are going to the second child frame, and using the second child frame we are identifying the input locator, and then we are performing some action using that element. Okay, so before that what I have to do, first I have to click on this button. So let me construct the XPath for this one. I will say it as, sorry, this is the href. Okay, this is my XPath. So basically what I will do, once I come back to this application, I will perform some click operation in this locator. Okay, let me show you. First I will come here, then I will click in the button, then we enter some value to this input field. Okay, let us see what is happening. I'll put a debug point here and debug. Okay, to open the application, then it will click on the iframe, then it will enter some value to see. Okay, let me stop this one. Okay, so after the analysis, what I came to know that the XPath, whatever we are using, that is wrong, because uh, there are two elements present with this XPath. Okay, so if I will paste here iframe, multiple frames present, and if I will come here, okay, now it is only one element present. Maybe there is some issue in this application. The XPath is loading dynamically. So there is only one element now present here. Iframe. Oh, sorry. I have to come to this page. Okay. Okay. So now there are two this frame, and inside this frame, there is, this is multiple frames.html, and inside this frame I have to go to another something wrong. Okay. Let me inspect from here. So this is the first frame and this is the second frame. Okay, so multiple iframe src multiple frames.html, this one is present. Okay, and then inside this, so basically I am saying, but so basically it was earlier two elements. Okay, so now it is showing one element. Okay, anyway I am telling to the playwright, okay, this is my XPath, so you use that iframe which is inside this div id equal to multiple. Okay, div id equal to multiple. Okay, this is one XPath, and then the another XPath is src equal to single frame.html. So this XPath I have used in the code, and you can see here this is my first XPath, and the second XPath is iframe is single frame.html. Okay, and then I am again, because this is, that is my another frame, so again I am using content frame, then locator, and then I am filling the value. So let me run this one and we'll see if it is able to find it or not. Okay, yeah, you can see here this is entering some value. So now we will see using the frame locator. Okay, so I will use this XPath. And this is the XPath single frame.html. So copy this one. Okay, and then I will look at input, then second. Okay, let me debug this one. Let us see. the first one is working, the second one, let us see, you can see second time. So both the XPaths now, both the functions is working. So this is the way how we can, so basically this is the example whatever we have seen. So basically why the error was coming, it will come here, the same XPath is present in this tab only. Okay, that is the reason sometimes it is saying two frames are present in the same name, and sometimes it's saying one frame. Okay, so that is for the safer side I'm using this div tag. Okay, so this is the way how we can handle the iframes using the frame locator or content frame method. Okay, so I think that's all for today.